Hey guys, this is Ash, and you're watching WriterGAsh. Today is the final day of the reading rush, and I'm reading 10 Things I Hate About Pinky right now. I'm also making myself a cup of caramel macchiato. I don't make my coffee, I use bottled coffee, but that's still me pouring myself some. So far today, I finished reading about 3/4 of 10 Things I Hate About Pinky, and I'm really enjoying it so far. In this book, Pinky is trying to save the butterfly conservatory in the place her family goes to vacation every summer. And I just love seeing people being passionate about something. It's wonderful to read about that. And I decided to kind of base my outfit on that book. I'm wearing a denim overall because I didn't have a denim jacket, and a green-blue shirt underneath because in the book she's wearing a blue shirt under the denim jacket. It's kind of themed off the book instead of being completely a replica of it. And I've really been enjoying that book. Pinky is so passionate, and I love a passionate lead. She doesn't stop herself from going after what she wants. She knows what she wants, and she doesn't care about what other people think, and I love that. And her parents don't really her mom doesn't really get that. She gets mad at Pinky for being so reckless, and I get that. And because her mom always lashes out on her, Pinky feels like her mom doesn't really like her. And it's just sad to see how misunderstandings can blow up like that. So in the book, Pinky invites her friend Samir to come and pretend to be her fake boyfriend because her mom always thinks that she cannot do anything right. So Samir is the kind of guy her parents would love, and she always dates guys her parents hate. Her last boyfriend ended up in juvie, so she asks him to pretend to be her boyfriend so she can show her parents that she can make good decisions. And from there, even though they kind of dislike each other at first, they start to understand each other, and a romance starts blooming. And at the same time, Samir, who is always in his shell, kind of comes out of it and begins to help Pinky with her attempt to save the butterfly conservatory. When a developer is trying to break down a conservatory that's been in their summer spot forever, and she just goes and says, I will protect it, and she goes and helps the people organize something and does her best. She gives everything her all. She's the kind of person that goes head first and loses herself in what she believes in. She is passionate. She doesn't think about herself. She thinks about what she believes is right, and that is a wonderful quality to have. And I feel like from what it seems like, her mom understands that, but she's scared that could have negative consequences because she herself was that way when she was younger, and she felt like if she had to protect her daughter and to prevent her from making the same mistakes she made when she was young. But she doesn't see that just because she made some mistakes doesn't necessarily mean that her daughter would make similar mistakes. And it's just a really fun, wholesome story so far, and I'm excited to go through the rest of it and enjoy it. So I'm gonna go back and start reading again. I'm also gonna be doing the Racing to Read tag and post all my vlogs and everything. I can't believe the reading rush is over. I thought I couldn't do it this time because of everything else, but I guess I can. God, I have to say, I am so grateful to the reading rush because it made me come out of my reading slump. It always does that. Every time the reading rush comes around, I'm going through a reading slump and I don't want to be reading at that point, but the reading rush always just makes me pick up a book and read. And once I've read one book, I won't stop. I'll keep on reading. Anyway, so I'm gonna go back to reading now. So I'm in the middle of reading 10 Things I Hate About Pinky, and there was just this really beautiful scene where Pinky comes across an old picture of her mom at a protest, and she's in utter shock because she sees her mom as this uptight corporate lawyer who always wears cardigans, and in that picture she literally looks identical to Pinky, and she's finally seeing that her mom doesn't I feel like that's gonna be a huge step in their relationship being repaired. I can see it from both perspectives, but I definitely understand Pinky's perspective, and it's nice to see that like she's coming to terms with the fact that maybe what she thinks isn't the entire story. Maybe there's more to why her mom acts the way she does sometimes and believes what she does and does what she does. Like maybe this will help Pinky understand like her mom really does love her. So I took a little break to look at TikTok for a little bit, and the Vampire Diaries kind of popped up on my feed, and that made me think about the one time I bought one of the Stefan's Diaries part of the series, and I put it in my bag and spilled water all over it. I still have that book back home. I literally dried it overnight, and oh my god. That reminds me of my Princess Diaries incident. Every time I went back to India, at this point I was living in Malaysia, and every time I went back to India, I'd buy books. I'd buy Nancy Drew books and Vampire. I even bought some Vampire Diary books, and I also bought Princess Diaries. So at that particular time, I decided I wanted the whole series. So we bought all of the books that were out at that point, and back then I think it was 9 books, or maybe it was. Yeah, there were 10 books and the new one came out after that. But I bought all the 10 of the books, and then we put it all in the suitcase. We had a full suitcase of just my books. We bought some Nancy Drews and the entire Princess Diaries series. And then what happened was, I was so excited. I was 10, and I was really excited to have all my books with me on my journey back to Malaysia, and I wouldn't let anyone else touch the bag. I carried it in the airport. And me being the idiot 10-year-old I was, left the bag at the airport in India while I went on an entire flight to Malaysia. When we got there, I realized I didn't have it. And that was horrifying. I was just so sad, and I was so scared my parents would be pissed at me. And we contacted my aunt, who picked up the bag from the airport in India, and then a few months later someone else was coming to Malaysia and they brought the books to me, and the day I got my hands on that bag was one of the happiest days of my life. Yeah, that just reminded me of those incidents from my childhood. God, I can't believe my TikTok now has reading stuff too. I'm gonna end my reading break and go back to reading 10 Things I Hate About Pinky though. I just finished reading 10 Things I Hate About Pinky, and it was a really good book. I loved how at the end Pinky and her mom kind of mended fences, and after Pinky found that picture where she saw her mom looking exactly like her and protesting, she kind of felt like her mom hated her because she had to change who she was when Pinky was born. And I feel like at the end they finally like addressed that issue with Pinky and her mom kind of mending fences, and it was beautiful. I also loved how the story ended, and it was a great book. I love Sandhya Menon's writing, and this book was perfectly written in my opinion. I also love like fake dating to real dating stories, and yeah, it's been a really fun readathon, and I am really glad I was able to participate and read as much as I did, and I'm really glad that I had a successful week because it really makes me want to read more, and I'm gonna try being as active with reading and maybe even with Booktube as I can. I miss being on Booktube. I just haven't had the time to film. Maybe like once a month I'll do something, because I don't know if I can commit to once a week, but maybe once a month is possible. Anyways, I hope you guys had a great readathon too, and I will see you guys later.